Totally Nonsense on Nonsense News Nation. Totally.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kids and cadets, to another riveting edition of Totally Nonsense on Nonsense News Nation. I'm your host / boy, Brendan Scott Ellis, Hebrew name Shmuel Melech.
And I'm Scott. I don't want to say my last name.
It's been way too long, Scott. How's everyone doing? Are you even still there? It doesn't matter. We're still doing this podcast anyway. This podcast is all about talking about nonsense in the world. You know, having some fun. Scott, let's have some fun today.
We need some fun, Brandon, because you have been stressed out for the past half hour just trying to get this to record properly. You were having technical problems on your end. Right.
So let's just get this party started. Let's put a smile on that face. Joker impression there. So yeah, let's get right to it, Scott.
Yeah.
So would you like to start the story, or should I?
I'd love to start. I have a good segue for this story here.
Go right ahead.
So, if you are new to this channel, what we like to do is talk about the wackiest, nonsensical stories in the world, and we like to report on them. And this past week, every news media station, every media organization was talking about the American election, the U.S. election. You know what? I have an election to talk about too, but it's not taking place in America, and it's not a political election. It's an election about which bird in New Zealand is the favorite bird of the year. This is way, way more important than the presidential election, any Senate race or congressman race. This is the pinnacle of importance here. So let me explain this to you, Brendan. So every year in New Zealand since 2005, they've had a bird of the year vote where I guess any New Zealand citizen can choose from a list of birds and vote which one is they think should be bird of the year. That alone is nonsensical. But there was something that happened this year in New Zealand's bird of the year vote that is really, really bizarre. So on Monday, there's a county in New Zealand that counts all of the votes, and it turns out there were 1,500 votes cast for this bird called the little spotted kiwi, and everyone thought
kiwi. Okay.
There were specifically 1,500 votes that were for this bird that were deemed fraudulent. And you would think, first thing you'd think to yourself is, who in the world would mess with?
Is that what Donald Trump was talking about? He was not referring to the American election. He was talking about the New Zealand election of birds. We just couldn't understand him. We couldn't understand his babbling. Trump, we get you now. I never thought I'd say that.
He doesn't care about. He thinks the U.S. election was very fair, but he's really been vocal about the New Zealand bird of the year. And I understand that, President Trump. I understand your concern because this is not right. So what happened was one specific person cast 1,500 fraudulent votes for this bird.
So it had 0 votes?
No. Out of all the votes cast for the little spotted kiwi, there were 1,500 of them that were fraudulent because they were all traced back to the same
okay. I thought you said
person.
it only had 1,500, and then there was somebody who had 1,500 fraudulent votes. So the spotted kiwi got no love.
I probably should have made myself a little bit more clear. So, reading this article, they're saying that so far, over 35,000 votes have been cast. And 1,500 of those votes are fraudulent, because what happened was, in New Zealand, the election spokeswoman named Laura Kiwan, she was able to trace back all of these 1,500 votes to the same IP address in Auckland, New Zealand, which is the most populated city. So I don't know who would go so far as to mess with the integrity of the bird of the year vote, but shame on you, sir. Shame on you.
Shame on you.
What you're doing, you messing with this election is going to impact people for years to come. You understand that, right?
You're the reason the dinosaurs went extinct.
I like murderers more than I like this person who messed
By murderers, you mean murder of crows?
Murder of spotted kiwis, more like it.
A murder. There was a murder of spotted kiwis in this election. I'd say all the other bird species got murdered out there. Listen, we all love the spotted kiwi, but we got to admit to ourselves that there are so many better birds out there. Heck, even the American turkey is better. And people are ashamed of that for almost being our national bird. And the turkey beats the spotted kiwi. You can't enjoy a kiwi on Thanksgiving unless you're vegan.
Do you want to know? Do you want to know which bird is currently leading in the polls?
Tell away, Scott. I couldn't guess.
The front runner is the antipodian albatross.
The antipody albatross?
The
Where does it go to the
antipodian-
bathroom?
A bird that has yet to be potty trained. Imagine seeing a bird fly around with a diaper on.
It's probably like, I think back in like Sesame Street, like they had like little baby specials and Big Bird was in a diaper. I think I vaguely remember that.
Brandon, yesterday I was driving and I was at a red light, and next to me in the other lane there was a big minivan, and in the back seat the kids were watching Sesame Street on the TV screens, like in the minivan, and Big Bird was just like jumping around. I was just laughing. I don't think he was wearing a diaper, but he was flapping his wings.
Was he flapping his wings? He can't fly.
He was like jumping up and down, flapping his wings like a turkey.
Careful, it's almost Thanksgiving, Big Bird. You don't want to make yourself look like a turkey.
If you're going to fraudulently vote for any bird in the New Zealand Bird of the Year election, you should vote for Big Bird.
You should.
Or Kanye West.
Or Harambe.
Or Harambe. I wonder how many votes Harambe got.
We're talking about elections there.
Yeah.
We're talking about birds, Scott. If you're done, I want to talk about people in elections.
Yeah, I'm done.
I'm not done, Scott. So, speaking of people in elections, we all know that Joe Biden won the presidential election. Whatever your beliefs, he did win.
Yes.
But can I tell you that there is someone currently in office right now with the name Joe Biden that is not Joe Biden? Let me explain. So this is in Japan, a town in Yamato. I hope I'm saying that correct. They have a mayor with the name that can be interpreted through Chinese kanji as Joe Biden. It's Joe Biden. It's J-O space B-A-I-D-E-N. Joe Biden. Like that. So the mayor's name is actually Yutaka Umeda, but with those Chinese characters, it's Japanese Joe Biden. So he, as well as his town, have become internet sensations in Japan. It's garnered a lot of attention. I'm not sure people knew too much about Yamato, but now that Joe Biden is ruling over it, I'm sure Americans have a lot of questions. Joe Biden, are you that senile? What are you doing in Japan? Not realizing that it's a different Joe Biden. It's not even Joe Biden. It's Yutaka Umeda. So Umeda paid no mind to this sacred bond with the American version of Joe Biden, our Joe Biden, until his family told him on November 6th that he was a meme now. So he spoke to reporters about this and said, "I have felt a not too distant connection. The suddenness with which talk of this has come has left me a little perplexed. Although there are differences in the positions of a U.S. presidential candidate and the mayor of Yamato, here in the center of Kyushu, our passion is the same. We continue working to fulfill our duty to ensure the happiness, spiritual richness of our residents." Yeah, we have a Joe Biden in Japan, and I also learned this, which is pretty hilarious. When Obama ran for the presidential election, there's a Japanese city called Obama. It became famous. You know that?
No.
It gets better. So residents in the city made a support group called Obama for Obama to support Obama. And then Obama, our Obama, eventually wrote a thank you letter to their Obama.
That reminds me of something. That reminds me when there was this one time where Obama went to Japan, and he was with the prime minister giving a speech. And he said in that speech, he's like, I'd like to thank He literally said he looked at the prime minister. He'd like to thank Japan for all of its great culture, including anime.
Oh, it's a great culture, including anime,
Anime, manga.
the Chaos Emeralds.
No, I watch Naruto with Michelle.
I feel like Scott. It's like Into the Spider-Verse, into the Biden-verse. It even like has a catchy ring to it, the Biden-verse. Now we know that there's a Japanese Joe Biden. There's even a Japanese Obama. Obama's so great that he couldn't just be a person. He had to be in a city in Japan. So now we know.
We should have gotten a soundbite from Japanese Joe Biden saying malarkey.
Malarkey.
Is that a kind of fish?
Anyway, that's my story, Scott. I think you got one more and it's a doozy.
So, first of all, thank you for sharing that story.
You're welcome. I love Joe Biden. If you're gonna ask me which one, I won't tell you. There's Joe Biden. There's just so many.
The website where I found my next story, there's a picture of Joe Biden in the top right corner. I'm just looking at it and laughing. So before we started recording here, I messaged Brandon and I told him that I found a story that was one of the funniest stories I've ever seen. And right now I'd like to share it with everybody. So before I even talk about this story, let me tell you what the headline is, Brandon. Are you ready for this?
Go ahead.
Obese monkey, Uncle Fatty, missing from fat camp and presumed dead. So, I'm gonna send you. Wait, okay. So go on Messenger. I'm gonna send you a picture of this monkey.
I'll describe to you.
Yeah,
well, I'll be looking at everyone.
I'm gonna send you a picture, and then I'll talk about it, and then you tell everybody what he looks like.
It's a monkey from Fat Camp. All right, so send it whenever you can.
Not trying to fat shame this monkey. It's just hilarious.
His name is Uncle Fatty.
They've named him Uncle Fatty, so they're already fat shaming him. All right, I just sent you the picture, Uncle Fatty.
Should I look at it now or afterwards?
Not right now. No. So let me describe to you what this story is even about. So in Thailand, there is a very overweight monkey, an obese monkey, that
not overweight, obese.
He's more than overweight. He's morbidly obese. He's unhealthy. So I guess like animal rescue officials and local Thailand citizens have they've nicknamed this monkey Uncle Fatty. And so what happened was in 2017, animal workers, I guess Uncle Fatty was living in like an animal preserve or something. Okay. There were animal workers saw how much weight he gains, and they enlisted him in an animal fat camp in 2017.
Wait, they're like, what other animals are there? Like, elephants?
There's nothing about other goats? Animals, but what the reason?
It's animal fat camp. It should be a lot of different species.
Really fat zebras and tigers but what happened was
Biggie Cheese.
People call me Mr. Bombastics. Residents and tourists kept feeding the monkey.
From Bear in the Big Blue House. Bear's
not overweight. He's just little. He's just it's all muscle.
It's all muscle. He lifted the Blue House once. I've seen it in an episode.
He bench pressed the Blue House. He was curling with it. So Uncle Fatty had been regularly fed by tourists and local residents in Thailand. They would kept giving him like high calorie foods like chips and popcorn and stuff like that, and they kept giving him sugary drinks. And as a result, he became morbidly obese, and they put him in a fat camp. And so after he was put in the fat camp, he went missing. And before he went missing, he was apparently eating all of the food that other animals were getting. There's a video here of him eating. There's a video here of him like on the ground, and there's just a lot of food around him, and he's eating what looks like a watermelon. I don't even know. And he's okay. So he's still missing, as I report this story, and officials. Hold on a second. The president is the president of the We Love Monkey Club.
Oh, I thought it was like the president.
No.
I thought Donald Trump had something to say.
I am
I know
going.
it's the We Love Monkey Club president.
So the president of a club called We Love Monkey Club. That's the name of this club. I am going to butcher this name. This is the hardest name I've ever had to pronounce. The president is Kevin Afat Mongkolatek Achat. Mongkolatek Achat. Monk said that our staff always saw him sitting in front of the monument every time they came to feed the pack. But one day he was just gone. So he continues on with, we thought that he was just sick and might have gone into a deep forest to heal himself.
To heal himself?
We decided
to
to
get some
search
magic
there.
herbs? What does Uncle Fatty know about healing himself?
Kevin Afat, he asked many monkey specialists what they thought happened to the monkey, and they all speculated that he actually died when he went into the forest. But it's not confirmed. But, I mean, think about it, guys. This monkey is very overweight, presumably unhealthy, has hypertension, maybe diabetes. It's likely he's not going to live alone in the woods. You know, he needs medical attention.
It's an easy target, and he can't take care of himself. Because everyone decided to feed him chips because they thought it was funny.
It's not funny.
That's what happens when you make a perfectly fit monkey Uncle Fatty.
You want to hear the very last
It's a new
sentence?
Frankenstein monster.
The very last sentence in this article says, hopefully the monkey is okay, but if not, rip brother. That was okay. I'm pretty much done with my
We lost Harambe. I'm not ready to lose another one. All right, let me look at the picture. Give me a second.
Yeah, you describe to people what Uncle Fatty looks like.
It's a whoa my god, it's actually sad.
It's a massive,
what? It's like the biggest beer gut I've ever seen, and he's chugging a drink. It's like a sugary red drink, like a fruit punch. He's surrounded by fruit.
It's King Julian.
He has the biggest beer gut I've ever seen, and he's not even drinking beer. Is it like is it a macaque? Macaque, whatever it's called.
You're right. Yeah, that's the name of that's the breed.
It's a macaque. Yeah, I just saw it, and that's what I thought. I'm not thinking about it's macaque. I'm just acknowledging that it is one. And poor monkey, seriously. I can't really laugh at it too much. Okay, it's funny that it's drinking the sugary drink. Besides that, it's not funny.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Let me know when Uncle Fatty's funeral is being live streamed. I want to donate.
We're going to hold a fundraiser and live stream during his funeral.
Hopefully they find him and he's fine and he's actually super ripped and he was never fat.
He just went to the woods to work out. To the woods to get
doing pull-ups on the branches. Right. So anyway, we talked about the worst of monkeys. I have to tell you about the worst of humans. And the worst thing that a human can go through in their average day-to-day life is a breakup, Scott.
It's definitely up
And
there.
this breakup is one of the worst. There's this Brazilian cosmetic doctor who took a breakup in the best way possible, though. But his fiance dumped him back in July after many fights. So they were going to get married. They had it all planned out, a nice wedding resort. And she broke up with him. He's single right before the wedding. So instead of canceling plans, he decided to marry himself.
What?
There was I feel like there was at least 50, maybe, don't quote me, maybe 500. And maybe, I think it was 40 to 50 people. I'm forgetting because I haven't seen the article in a little bit.
At his own wedding?
There's a whole bunch of different people that witnessed this. So it's not just him alone by a church. It's a whole bunch of people that were invited. So the wedding has become a viral hit as he exchanges vows with himself saying, I do, in front of a mirror for guests to see.
That's how I'm trying to be.
In front of a mirror. He was in front of a mirror. They had the mirror from Shrek and they wheeled it over to the stand and he's looking at it longingly with love in his eyes. It's just crazy to think about. So This is what he had to say, and it's kind of sweet. He said, the good thing about marrying you, is that there are no protocols. You have the freedom to have fun any way you want. And am I wrong? There was a bouquet of flowers. Yes.
So you tell me you can legally marry yourself. I looked it up. It's called sologamy.
It's a thing. It's a thing. He did it. And it's becoming an inspiration. So his grandmother even tied a special engagement band on his wrist. I think it may have been rainbow. Maybe he was like an LGBTQ. He's part of the community because he married himself. I don't know. So despite the breakup, he still loves his ex-fiancée, which is just crazy to think about. She put him in this situation. So writing her a special letter, he showed respect and wished her happiness. He said this: "We dreamed of this moment. It was meant to be the big day of our lives. We even played like it was our secret place, but in the middle of the way, you preferred to stay and let me go alone. Here I am, honoring my word," literally. "And I still respect you because I want you to be free to go wherever you want and stay wherever you want. You showed me how special I am and how much I have the potential to realize my dreams, including this: make my commitment to loving myself first," which is, I can't even joke about it. That is kind of beautiful.
This story is not nonsense. It's inspirational.
No, marrying another person is nonsense. That's what we learned today. It's true. You should love yourself. I think the ceremony is could be a little silly, I guess, from our minds of just having the idea of what a wedding should be. But the message is very uplifting. It's very heartwarming, I'd say. So he told news outlets that he thought of this for a month and stated that he doesn't need a marriage to be happy, which is true. You don't need to be in a relationship to be happy. We're placed in this society, this very strict way of thinking, this human way of thinking, where you need to find someone, you need to have kids, you need to live life a certain way, but you don't have to. And this doctor really proved it. He should be a love doctor, because he inspired me. I'm going to marry myself. I'm not going to even tell my girlfriend. I'm just going to marry myself. There's going to be a ring on my ring finger. She's going to be like, "What's that? Are you cheating on me?" And I'll say, "Yes, I am. I'm cheating on you with myself because I love myself." Thank you, Doc, for checking up on me and telling me to love myself. A little R.I.P. for our boy, Uncle Fatty, if he's dead.
He's no selling. He's gone, man.
He's gone. Another R.I.P. to all the birds that lost the election, especially the kiwi. We thought it had a running chance, but it didn't.
That wasn't fair.
And we like to welcome Joe Biden, not just the American one. We're talking about the Japanese Joe Biden. So we're sending good vibes your way. We hope we are. And this was a fun podcast, Scott. It's good to be back. Good to do this again.
It's good to be back. Why did he marry himself?
Back at the barnyard. Yeah.
Why did he marry himself?
Why aren't you marrying yourself, Scott?
I don't have the money for that.
Just love yourself, Scott. It's not about a piece of paper. Just love yourself.
Babe.
In all good fun, I think we wedded ourselves with the podcast finally, and we actually made something. Hopefully we could do it again soon. We hope you enjoyed the podcast. I know I sure didn't. If you want to hear more from us, I sure hope you do. We're on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, TuneIn, SoundCloud, and YouTube, just to name a few stuff. We have a Facebook, a Twitter, and Instagram. We post things every now and again. And if you want to contact us personally and reveal to us the whereabouts of Uncle Fatty, because I've been looking everywhere, you can contact us at nonsensenewsradio@gmail.com. That is nonsensenewsradio@gmail.com. Once again, I've been Brendan Ellis.
I've been Scott at Uncle Fatty Phantasm.
And this was Totally Nonsense on Nonsense News Nation. We'll see you next time. Peace and love.
Goodbye.